Hi guys, Bran here, and welcome to another commentary video. Today is a little bit more of a serious one. I wouldn't say it's like super serious. I would put that in like the Life Talks section if it was like a Life Talks video, but it's kind of close. But it's like specifically having to do with like DBD and stuff. So I really want to like explain that like together. So yeah, just keep in mind that this one's not going to be as fun or that sort of thing. So just keep that in mind. So the topic in question, if you can't read the title, is that like why do people take DBD so seriously, and why do people get so attached to like not just DBD the game, but like content creators and stuff, and why do they go so hard at defending these things? Because usually, like we go into these positions and into these situations. We go like, oh well, that guy's really weird, and like, what's wrong with that person? And then we like, I think the funniest thing I always hear is like, somebody's got to go outside and touch grass. Like that's funny, and that's usually how we respond, because like in our eyes, it's like a super like nonsensical weird thing, and it is really out there, really out there. But here's why. So I ran into a situation with somebody close in my life where basically things went wrong because of a misunderstanding. And I think it was actually a very positive thing, not only because we resolved it, but because it opened my eyes to like why people could be doing that in this game. Because so somebody really close to my life recently got into the game Genshin Impact. It's like the game that it's kind of like Breath of the Wild, but it's anime. So she's been really into that lately. And I think that Genshin, to me on the outside, as somebody who does not play it, is funny just because I'm like, oh, it's waifu of the wild. That's what I like to call it. I like to call it waifu of the wild because in aesthetics and gameplay, it's similar to Breath of the Wild, but it's just with anime girls. So I'm like, wow, it's waifu of the wild because I think it's just a funny meme, And most people laugh at me when I do that meme. Everybody's just like, haha, good one, Like, it's not that big of a deal. But to this person, it like really bothered them. It felt like I was dumping on something that they liked a lot, and they took it very like hurtfully that I called it waifu of the wild. I didn't say it with any sort of like malintent, like, oh, you're playing a waifu of the wild. No, I was just like, waifu of the wild, like how I, do it on stream on YouTube, that sort of thing. But they took it like really intensely and was really hurt by it. We came to have a follow-up conversation. About it. And it turns out that like just a lot of things like in her life was not really going well. And there was a lot of stuff that was going sideways, a lot of things that were really frustrating and upsetting that she was currently dealing with. So she said that it hurt that she had this one thing that brought her a lot of joy, that brought her a lot of comfort, and the first thing out of my mouth was teasing about it, right? Like I was giving her shit for it. So she said that was like a really sucky thing because that was like one of the few things going right at the time, and saying waifu of the wild, even if it was with not bad intentions, was like dissing one of the only things that she found fun, and it was really disheartening for her. And I think that's where a lot of people are with Dead by Daylight, which is a lot of reason people are like hopelessly addicted to Dead by Daylight. But I also think another thing is that I think that's why a lot of people defend like content creators way past the point of when they should, because if like this whole Dead by Daylight thing and the person that's giving them the content about Dead by Daylight, if that's one of the few things that's going well in their lives, and a lot of the other stuff is going sideways, a lot of the other stuff is going wrong, they're going to irrationally go out of their way to defend these things, even if like it doesn't make sense to defend them, because they want to keep that positive. It's like a desperation thing, where for everybody else it's not really a desperation thing. Like if something really actually made me mad enough to quit Dead by Daylight, I just could. Like I like horror games, I like horror game content. I'm sure that I can find another game that I'll just transfer all my content to, and I'll keep going. Like I'll keep chugging. I'm a student of the game. I love content creation. I'll figure it out, right? But like I feel like the reason that it's so intense for other people is because it's deeper than that. It's not just the game. It's one of the few things going well in their life right now. So as a result, their feelings for it are super intense. And that's where you get these situations where you're like, man, I don't get how somebody could like go crazy about Dead by Daylight in such a defensive manner, or I don't get how you can defend this content creator after, you know, they said ABC. It's because of like that place that they have in their life, whether that be the game, the content creator, whatever, like that place that they have in their life where everything else, all the other places in their life are not so great. So it has a much stronger like emotional attachment that they feel like they need to defend, because if they lose that, even if they should, if it like makes sense to lose that, like it's going to be removing something out of like one or two things that's like going well in their life, and that's a really terrifying and stressful thing. So like I'm not saying this to like say like, oh well they're right, just as much as I'm saying that like I'm not saying that to say that, you know, we're wrong for going go touch grass. But like I'm just trying to shed some light on the situation so we can perhaps have a little bit more empathy in the conversation having to do with this, because I feel like that's something I didn't understand until I ran into a situation in my real life that kind of like, you know, shone a light on it. I'm like, oh well, that makes sense why people would act weird about the game or weird about like a specific content creator or something, you know, like I just didn't understand it. And I feel like the best thing you can do when you are at odds with anyone for any reason is understand where they're coming from. So hopefully this did that for you. Hopefully this helps shed some light on things and the way people act, and it's not just a me versus you thing, and you kind of understand like, oh well, I get what you're coming from, but, or ABC, you know, like just carry some empathy into that conversation. That way things can be resolved better. But yeah, I don't think anything else for you, friend. Hopefully you found that incredibly helpful, and if you liked the video, make sure to actually do that down here in the thumbs up zone. We are trying to reach that 1,000 subs, and I would really appreciate if you have been indulging in my content and watching my content. A lot of people just like watch content and forget to like or sub or do any of that stuff, just because, like, you know, sometimes you watch it on your TV, sometimes you gotta go. You know, it happens. But if you want to like actually like see more of my videos more consistently, instead of having them just kind of like lost at the YouTube front page ether, subbing will go a long way with that. So yeah, I don't think anything else for you, friendo. If I don't see you in the next video, I will see you when I see you, friends. Goodbye.